To be evident to the mind means to be there as an object of thought. How is it evident? How is it evident? It is evident as an object of thinking, as an object of thought. Like how is the form evident? As an object of sight. How is the sound evident? As evident to hearing. So each sense object is evident to a given sense organ. But I can say all the sense objects are evident to the thought only. Because seeing is thinking, hearing is also thought only. All of them are thoughts only. Therefore the entire prapancha is evident as it is evident as an object of thought. To be evident as an object of thought is what is called being evident to the mind. Is it clear? To be evident as an object of thought, because there is no other way it can be evident. The world cannot be evident in any other manner than as an object of perception or thought. Clear? That means mind is the one to whom the world is evident. Minus thought, just here. Like minus the ear, the sound cannot be proved to exist. It has no existence. How sound has no existence except as heard, how sound is evident to the ear, the whole world is evident to thought. The moment you say thought, it includes the whole prapancha, because the sound is also knowing the sound is thought, knowing the form is thought, knowing the taste, touch, smell is also thought. So thought is more comprehensive. Thought means all perceptions. Therefore the entire prapancha is evident as an object of thought. To be an object of thought itself is what is called to be evident to the mind. Here is a big breakthrough, please, if you follow. Generally people say mind sees, mind sees, mind sees. When we say mind thinks, mind sees, it simply means the world is seen only as an object of thought. Not as an object of thought, it can have no evidence at all. Just as the sound has not evidence, sound is not evident except as heard. There is no other way by which the sound can be evident. The sound is evident only as heard. Form is evident only as seen or touched or felt or smelt, वगैरह. In the same manner, all forms, all the entire prapancha as one block is evident only as an object of thought. To be evident as an object of thought itself is what is called to be evident to the mind. Therefore, if this is clear, then what is mind? What is thought? What is mind? Mind is the mind of the world. Mind is the mind of the world. Mind is the self of the world. Mind is the mind of the world. Means mind is that to which the world is evident. Not clear. Mind is that to which the world is evident. Thought is that to which the world is evident. Now what is Atma? Atma is the mind of the mind means what? Atma is that to which the thought is evident. Atma is that which is the mind of the mind. Mind is the mind of the world, Atma is the mind of the mind. Objects as objects are evident as objects of thought, and thought is evident as the object of the self. Therefore, what is self? The self is that to which the thought is evident. Because thought's presence is evident to Atma, thought's absence also is evident to Atma. Therefore, what is Atma? The mind of the mind, means to which the mind is evident. It is the thought of the thought, means it is that to which thought is evident. We do not say that Atma is mind, not another mind. It is not another thought. When we say Atma is the thought of the thought, it means Atma is that to which thought is evident. Is it clear? Itself is not thought. It is called thought, but not thought. So what is Atma? Atma is that to which thought is evident. To what is thought evident? To what is evident to the thought? What is evident to the thought? Objects are evident as objects of thought. Is it clear? Objects are evident as objects of thought, and thought is evident to the Atma. Therefore, Atma is the thought of the thought. If Atma is the thought of the thought, if thought cannot exist and thought cannot be evident without Atma, then without Atma, even the objects cannot be evident. Without Atma, no thought. Without thought, no objects. Therefore, thought and objects both are evident to Atma alone. Manaso manaha. Similarly, yad vachoha vacham. It is the speech of the speech. It is the speaker of the speech. It is the speaker of the speech. It all becomes mystical. If it is not understood, Bhagavan is the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, something, one goes into some kind of. He is the eye of the eye. Is all poetry okay? Eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, it doesn't mean anything ityartaha. It has to be understood well. Atma is neither ear, nor eye, nor mind. It is pure conscious being to which the mind is, thought is evident. The very faculty of hearing is evident. Conscious being. Therefore, yad vachoha vacham. Similarly, it is the speaker of the speech, means it is that to which the speech is evident. The very faculty of speech is evident. When I have the faculty of speech, I know it. When I don't have it, I know it. When I am dumb, I know that I am dumb. When I am blind, I know that I am blind. When I am silent, when I have no thought, I know that I have no thought. Yad vachoha vacham, the self of the speech. The speech of the speech is the literal meaning, but actually it means the self of the speech, the self of the ear, the self of the mind. Savu pranasya pranaha. It is this life of life. It is the breath of breath. It is the prana of prana. Because when prana is, I know that there is prana. When there is no prana, also I know that there is no prana. When you go to Sushupti, is there prana? Are you tied down to breath? To explain this verse is very difficult. In the Sushupti, do you have prana? Yes, Swamiji, how can you say I have no prana? In Sushupti, do you experience breath? Do you breathe in deep sleep state? Yes, Swamiji, I breathe. Otherwise, how can I come? Body, you don't experience body. That means you don't experience also the breath. When you are in Sushupti, there are you tied down to breath. Do you have a breath there? You don't have breath. You don't have breath. In Sushupti you have no breath. Is it your knowledge or not? I mean, is it disputable or indisputable? That you have no breath in Sushupti is disputable or indisputable? Indisputable. That means it is your knowledge about the absence of breath, and it is your knowledge the presence of breath. Therefore, to whom is breath evident? To me. To whom is the breath's absence is evident? To me. To whom the breath is evident, its presence and absence, that is called Atma. Me, the being. Therefore, pranasya pranaha. Chakshushaha chakshuhu, the sight of the sight. The one who is, to whom the chakshu is evident, to whom the sight is evident, and to whom the absence of sight is evident. Like the form is evident to the sight, and the sight is evident to Atma. When we say the sight is evident to Atma, then sight and form as one block is evident to Atma. This much you can take. The form is evident to the sight, and the sight is evident to the Atma. What is Atma? What is that being? That being is that to which the very sight is evident, the very self of the sight. It is the self of the ear, the self of the mind, the self of the speech, the self of the breath, the self of the sight. Chakshushaha chakshuhu. And then he says, if this is understood, very simple, no detail, no unnecessary things. He says, atimuchya dhiraha. Dhiraha, those who know this truth. Those who know themselves not as chakshu, but the truth of the sight. I am not the form, nor am I the sight, but I am the truth of both. I am not the thought, I am not the object of thought, but I am the truth of both. I am not the sound, I am not the ear, but I am the truth of both. I am not the breath, nor am I the air, I am the truth of both. I am not any faculty, nor I am the object of faculty. I am the truth of all faculties, and I am the truth of all the objects of faculties. Having understood Atma in this manner, oneself in this manner, dhiraha, the wise men, atimuchya, having become free, muktva ityartha, atimuchya, having become free from what? Free from the chakshu and its object, shrotram and its object, thought and its object, having become free from every sense organ and sense object, having become free from the mind and its objects, having become free from the sense organs and the objects, having become free from the prapancha, atimuchya dhiraha, pretya, having become free from the embodiment, having become free from the embodiment. To be free from the embodiment, it does not mean to lose embodiment. Another problem. स्वामी जी तो मुक्ति तभी होगा जब तक देह है, तब तक तो मुक्ति होगा ही नहीं. मुक्ति तो होगा ही नहीं जब तक देह है. And therefore when the deha is gone, then मुक्ति तो अपने आप हो जाएगा. And losing body is not mukti. Understanding I am not the body is mukti. If losing body is mukti, then every dead man is a free man. Dead man is a free man as long as he lies dead. The moment he wakes up in another body, he is bound. Therefore, the death is not the solution. Knowledge is solution. Therefore, atimuchya dhiraha pretya small lokat. Pretya means having become free from, means having understood oneself as free from this world, asmal lokat, from this world. Having understood oneself as free from this world. Having understood one's nature as free from this world. Asmal lokat. Amritaha bhavanti. They become eternal. Meaning, they are no more bound. Amrita bhavanti means they are free from sansara. Amrita bhavanti, they are ever free from sansara. Is it clear? They also interpret in a different manner. Having understood one's nature, then after death they become free. Aisa nahi. Before death they don't become free. While alive, they become free. Because freedom is not an event. Freedom is knowledge, please. It's not an event. एक दिन free हो जाएंगे. एक दिन free नहीं होगा. Because दिन itself is in bondage. एक दिन free हो जाएंगे नहीं. There is no particular day, auspicious day on which there is freedom. Like, festivals fall on certain days. Shivratri falls on a day. Diwali falls on a day. Sankranti falls on a day. Similarly, Mukti doesn't fall, that Moksha day will not fall on a day. Therefore, there is no day. So, what determines freedom is knowledge, not a day. It is not an event. Therefore, the whole meaning is having understood the Atma as the truth of the sense organs and sense objects, as the truth of the thought and the world, one becomes free from the sense organs and the sense objects, the thought and its object. Is it clear? Having known the rope as the truth of the snake, you become free from snake. Itna hi baat. Having known the Atma as the truth of the sense organs and the sense objects, having known the Atma oneself as the truth of the sense organs and sense objects, as the truth of the thought and its object, you become free from the sense organs and the sense objects and the thought and the object. Sansar, prapancha se mukta ho. And therefore, dhiraha pretya asma lokad amrita bhavanti. This is the shloka about which there is a lot of, इतना तो नहीं होता है, बहुत व्याख्यान है, उसको आराम से करेंगे. Now we will see first padabhashyam. Padabhashyam, vakyabhashyam 2 है ना? Padabhashyam. Shrotrasya shrotram. What is the meaning of shrotram? He explains first. Shrotrasya shrotram is the Shruti. Now what do you mean by shrotram? Shrunoti anena iti shrotram. A means of hearing is called shrotram. Shrunoti, one hears. Anena is say. Iti shrotram. By which you hear is called shrotram. It is a means of hearing. Don't use the word instrument. Because whenever you use the word instrument, I remember only some kind of pen instrument, spade instrument, khanitram, or some kind of instruments. People, laborers use, rural instruments. It's a means of knowledge is different from instruments. The faculty of hearing. So what is shrotram? A means of hearing, a faculty of hearing is called shrotram. Shabdasya shravanam prati karanam. Shabdasya to the sound, shravanam prati for hearing the sound, karanam a means of hearing the sound. Shabda abhivyanjakam, that which makes the sound evident. Shabda abhivyanjakam. What is shrotram? It makes the sound evident. In fact, whatever makes the sound evident itself is the very cause of its existence as we proceed further. But to begin with, you can understand this much, that the shrotram is that which makes the sound evident. Abhivyanjakam. Shrotram indriyam. It is a sense organ. It's a faculty. Shrotram indriyam. This shrotrendriyam is a means of hearing the sound. Meaning was, it makes the sound evident. This is the Vyakhyanam about the ear. Now, Shankara says, Tasya, of that shrotram. Tasya Shrotrasya means of this Shrotram. Shrotram Saha, Atma is the Shrotram. Shrotram Saha means what? Atma is the Shrotram. That being you wanted to know, he is the Shrotram of that Shrotram. एक श्रोत्र के बारे में व्याख्यान किया गया है, जिसके बारे में आपने प्रश्न पूछा, that Atma is the Shrotram of this Shrotram. Tasya Shrotram means Tasya Shrotrasya Shrotram Saha Atma. What is that Atma? Yaha jo Tvaya Prishtaha, about whom it was questioned by you, it was asked by you. About whom Tvaya Prishtaha was asked. How was it asked by you? He also refers. Chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. You asked me a question, that which devata wills, prompts the chakshu and the shrotra towards their own objects. You asked me this question, That being is none other than the very ear of the ear. He is the shrotram of the shrotra. He is the ear of the ear. Now, the ear of the ear, how do you understand? The ear of the sound, how do you understand? What is the definition of the ear? This ear, what is the definition of the ear? The ear is that to be, which makes the sound evident. This will be clear? You won't forget, The ear is that which makes the sound evident. Now, if you call the Atma also as the ear, then apply the same definition. Atma is that which makes the very ear evident. Which makes the ear be evident. To make the ear evident also means to make its absence also evident. Is it not? Sometimes you use the ear to find the presence of the sounds, and sometimes you use the ear to find out the absence. There is no sound. I hear no sound. So in a way, the ear itself tells me the presence of the sound. The ear itself tells me the absence of the sound. In the same manner, the presence of the ear and the absence of the ear is illumined by Atma. So Atma, to Atma is the ear evident, to Atma is the absence of the ear is evident. Iti. He makes a definition. Shrotrasya Shrotrami. Now, our Purva Pakshi will come. The objection will come now. What is the objection? Asau evam visishtaha. Asau, this being, Atma. Evam visishtaha. Purva Paksha asks a question. Hey Siddhanti, your answer is not in keeping with the question. I am asking something, you are saying something else. There is no rapport at all between you and me. You are seeing something, you are saying something. Shrotrasya Shrotram. What does it mean? It means nothing. I am asking you to describe the nature of that being who prompts the ear, eye, etc. So you have to say, he is of this nature and he prompts the ear, prompts the eye, prompts the mind. This is how you should answer. Nicely you should answer. But you are answering in a very funny manner. Shrotrasya Shrotram. Manaso Manaha. Yad Vachoha Vacho. What does it mean? So the Purva Pakshi objects here. Asau evam visishtaha. You have to say like this. This being is evam visishtaha, of this nature. Asau Atma evam visishtaha. He is of this nature. You have to describe the nature. Is he tall? Is he short? Is he bright? Or is he dull? Is he conscious? Or is he inert? What is he? You have to give a description. Kuch gun to batao. And you are not giving any description. You are saying he is the Shrotrasya Shrotram. Ear of the ear. Asau evam visishtaha. Shrotradini, Shrotradiyon ko niyungte, prompts. Iti vaktavye, this is what should be said by you. Hey Siddhanti, how should it be answered by you? It should be answered like this, that is, this is of this nature, this is of this nature, and it prompts the Shrotram, etc. This is how you should answer. You should give a description of that being first, and having given the description of that being, then you have to add that this being prompts the sense organs, mind, intellect, vagera. Now you are not saying anything. You say he is the Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Manaha, Yadvachoha Vacham, Pranasya Pranaha, Atimuchya Dhiraha, Pretya Smal Lokad, Amrita Bhavanti. ये सब हमने नहीं पूछा, मुक्ति के बारे में हमने नहीं पूछा. I just want to know the nature of that being. Iti vaktavye, if this is how you should answer, how are you answering? Nanu, lekin, yetad ananurupam prativachanam. You are giving an answer not in keeping with the question. Anurupam means in keeping with. Ananurupam means not in keeping with the question. Idam ananurupam, nanu etatu, this ananurupam, not in keeping with the question, not relevant to the question. Prativachanam, the answer, you are giving Shrotrasya Shrotram. When you say Shrotrasya Shrotram, this is an answer but not in keeping with the question. Please give me the nature of, describe the nature of that being and tell that this prompts the Shrotram vagera vagera. Then I will be very happy. Because this is exactly what everybody wants to know. Please tell me, how does the mind function? There is one Bhagavan and he influences the mind. Because they just want an answer. They don't want to understand. One word answers, It is just like saying, Swamiji, is there Bhagavan? Yes, there is Bhagavan. He goes. Means what? He has understood all about Bhagavan. Because he just wanted to know yes or no. Means really, these sense organs, mind, intellect, etc., are they independent or is there someone? The answer of the Swami will be what? Yes, there is someone who makes them all function. Then the students say, very happy. What is his nature? He is all blissful. He is all free. He is all effulgence. He is shine. And they say, okay, understood. So the student wants to know what? He just wants to have an answer, one word answer. He is not interested in knowing. Same is the Purvapaksha. For this the Siddhanti says, Naisha doshaha. Ye koi dosh nahi hai. In fact, you cannot describe Atma in any other manner. You can describe Atma only as the truth of the perception. He is the truth of the sense organ. He is not away from the sense organ. Just to see the problem. Atma is not away from the sense organ. Atma is not the sense organ. Atma is not the sense object. Atma is not the sense organ. Atma is not away from the sense organ. If Atma is away from the sense organ, then you have two realities, sense organ plus Atma. Therefore, Atma is not away from the sense organ. Atma is not the sense object. Atma is not the sense organ. And yet Atma is not away from the sense object, not away from the sense organ. Therefore, how is it? Like even clay is not pot. If clay is pot, then you don't have to make a pot. Therefore, clay is not pot. A lump of clay is lying there. Can you call it pot? Can you call it pot? No. You can't call it a pot. It is clay. So clay is not pot. Is clay away from the pot? Is clay away from the pot? Is clay pot? And therefore, clay is the truth of the pot. Clay is the truth of the pot. Clay is the self of the pot. Clay is the self of the pot. Clay is not pot. Clay is not away from pot. Clay is the truth of the pot. Similarly, what is this prapancham? Sense organs and sense objects. Thought and objects and sense organs and sense objects. Aur kuch hai? Is there anything called prapancha? There are 5 sense organs and 5 sense objects. and thought and objects. Same thing is called thought and object. Either you describe the prapancha as sense organs and sense objects, or you describe it as thought and object. This is one block. Now what is Atma? Is Atma sense organ? Is Atma sense object? Is Atma away from them? No. Therefore what is Atma? The truth of the sense organ and the truth of the sense object. The self is the truth of the sense organ and sense object. Therefore, how can you describe the self as the truth of the sense organ? As the truth of the sense organ. That is what is called Shrotrasya Shrotram. The ear of the ear means the truth of the ear. Is it clear? The ear of the ear means what? The truth of the ear. Can you describe Atma that it is beyond the ear? It is just like saying clay is beyond the pot. The moment you hear that clay is beyond the pot, then you will close your eyes to the pot and seek clay somewhere else. Are you hearing, please? Is it clear? It's very important. Eyes, for me, it is a very serious thing. I don't know how you take it really. How the students take my statements. My statements, the Shastra statements, make me dumbfounded. I can't take them serious. I'm a bit light. Because I repeat so much, the students say, Swami ji to aise kehte rehte hain roz. You may take it lightly, but I can't take the statements very easily because it can distort the thinking. You should be absolutely meticulous and careful about the statements that you make, the words that you use, and the thought that you entertain about yourself. The vichara must be straight. There should be no distortion anyway. Even a simple mistake can spoil the whole thing. Like, you work hard and win cricket up to semi-finals. So lot of effort you have made. A small mistake you made. See, whether you are 2 kilometers from the cup or 1 inch from, you miss it from a kilometer or you miss it from an inch. What is the difference? You miss it from an inch or you miss it from a kilometer. There is no difference. You missed it, bas. Similarly, I think correctly, all these years I have been thinking very correctly. All statements I have understood exactly as they are. But one statement I misunderstood. Then all statements are as good as misunderstood. And therefore, as far as I am concerned, to me these statements mean a lot. Clay is not beyond the pot. Clay is not away from the pot. Clay is not pot. Clay is the truth of the pot. There is no other way of describing clay. Similarly, the self, me, I am not a sense organ. I am not a sense object. I am not away from them. I am the truth of them. Therefore, what is Atma? The truth of the ear, the truth of the sight, the truth of the thought, the truth of the speech, the truth of the breath. When you say it is the truth of the sight, it also means it is the truth of the sight and form. It is the truth of the ear means the truth of the ear and sound. The truth of the thought means the truth of thought and object. Therefore, what is this whole prapancha? Nothing but sight and form, ear and sound, thought and object. Therefore, whatever is there as prapancha, for that Atma is the truth. In that manner alone, the Atma can be described, not in any other manner. Naisha dosha, koi dosha nahi. Because tasya, about this Atma, anyatha, in any other manner, vishesha anavagamat, it doesn't have any other type of describability. Atma doesn't have any other, Atma is not describable in any other manner because it doesn't have any other adjectives. Atma doesn't have any other qualities. No other type of describability is relevant, is possible as far as Atma is concerned because it has no other visheshas.
What is the only Vishesha that the Atma has is one. That is the truth of the error. Most beautiful. It has no other description, please understand. It has no other description. Like in the context of the mistake, when the rope is mistaken as the snake, in that context of the mistake about the rope, the only description you can give about the rope is that it is the truth of the snake. If you say that it is 10 foot long, are you revealing the rope? You will say 10 foot long. It is still snake, is it not? What is the rope? The rope is 10 foot long. Then you will close your eyes to the snake and imagine the 10 foot long rope somewhere else. You have to discover the truth where the very error is. Where the mistake is, in that very mistake is the truth. Truth is the truth of the mistake, please. Where you see the snake, in that very snake is the truth. Similarly, where perception is, in that very perception is the truth. And therefore, there is no other way of describing Atma except in this manner, that is, that it is the truth of the sight and form. Sight of, it is the truth of the ear and sound, etc. Therefore, the Anyatha Vishesha Anavagamat. There is no other, Atma doesn't have other qualities, therefore Atma cannot be described in any other manner. That is. Then he says, other reasons. He is going to tell now nice things. Atma doesn't prompt the mind, etc. with any instrument. No, it doesn't have any instrument. Like, Lavitram. Lavitram means, a sickle. You know a sickle? A sickle is called Lavitram. You go for harvesting with a sickle. So you have a sickle in your hand and then go about doing things. Sometimes you use it for driving the cattle. Sometimes you use it for fighting also. Sometimes you use it for harvesting. Sometimes you use it so many purposes. That means it is an instrument with which you accomplish many things. Atma doesn't have a sickle in its hand to drive the sense organs, to drive the mind, to drive the breath, to drive all these things. Don't think in this manner. Therefore, what is to be revealed is not the prompting nature of Atma, but its being the truth of the error. We don't reveal Atma as the prompter of everything, but the truth of everything. Not the prompter of everything. Truth of everything. That is the topic which is going to be, which we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Om Tat Sat Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakatau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. So we were doing page number 32. So a question is raised by the Purupakshi here, saying that when the student asks this question as to who is the one who wills and prompts the sense organs, the speech, the mind, etc., instead of directly pointing out that prompter, that one who wills, instead of directly pointing out that being, you leaving behind the sense organs, etc., Instead of directly pointing out that niyokta. Niyokta means, the one who wills, the one who prompts. Instead of directly pointing out that being, you are qualifying that being as the ear of the ear, the eye of the eye, the mind of the mind, the prana of the prana. What kind of description is this? Like pot. How do you describe pot? Pot is a pot. You don't say pot is close to, pot is close to mat. That is not the description. Pot is pot. It is round. It has a neck. It has a stomach. It can carry water. Give all the description. While describing the pot, why do you unnecessarily talk about other objects? I did not ask really where is pot. Then you say close to mat. I am not asking where is pot, I am asking what is pot. Then what do you say? Pot is made of clay. It's very useful. And then you can fetch water in it. You can use it also as a drum. So you can give a big story about pot. Ghat ki kahani kah sakte hain. I only want to know what is pot. Similarly, I want to know what is that being who wills and prompts. Now you are taking the help of these. Why do you say ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, vagera, vagera? This is the question. Asau evam visishtaha shrotradini niyunkte. This should be your answer. This is the nature of this being. And he prompts the sense organs. Iti vaktavye, if this is what you have to say, nanu etad ananurupam prativachanam. This is indeed an irrelevant answer that you are giving. Iti purvapakshi. Shrotrasya shrotramiti. That he is the ear of the ear is an irrelevant answer. The mind of the mind, the eye of the eye, the sight of the sight, the breath of the breath, this is all irrelevant answer. It's not direct answer, you are only telling some story. Iti purvapakshaha. For this, because we always want to know that Atma sitting somewhere inside and asking the sight, asking the ear, prompting the eye to function. It controls. It is just like a king, The king controls the entire kingdom. So the reins are in his hands. So he makes the ministers work, people to work, everybody work. Himself is different from all of them, but himself is, he wills them, he prompts them. I want to know Atma also like that. Then I feel very comfortable. This philosophical approach I don't like. You give me the description of Atma straight away. How you see we have no confusion about the king. The whole kingdom functions because of the king. If there is an Atma like that, which is the king of all these things, then you describe. My understanding is always like this. Jiva's understanding is always like this. Something that is controlled and something that controls. If Atma also exists as the controller of everything, then I don't mind putting my mind to understand that Atma is the controller. If you make it a riddle, if understanding the truth is like understanding a riddle, then it is very difficult for me. In fact, many people ask me riddles, I can't answer one riddle. And here also I come to Vedanta, here is another riddle. So it is Shrotrasya Shrotram, it is a riddle really. Be straight about Atma. Iti Purvapakshaha. For this Siddhanti says, Naisha Doshaha. Ye koi dosha nahi hai, ye to guna hai. This approach is more communicative. It is not to make it complicated. This approach, when we say Atma is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, is not complicating the matter, is indeed resolving the confusion about Atma. How? It all be told now. Naisha dosha, koi dosh nahi. Why? Tasya anyatha visesha anavagamat. Tasya atmanaha, us Atma ka, anyatha, in any other manner, visesha anavagamat. It cannot be known in any other manner. Atma is not available to be understood in any other manner than the very eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, breath of the breath. Means the very truth behind all of them. In the last class we saw, try to grasp this point very well. Like the eye is the eye of the form, is it not? The eye is the eye of the form. The ear is the ear of the sound. Why the eye is the eye of the form? Because it illumines the form. Is it clear? The ear is the ear of the sound because it directly illumines the sound. Now we apply the same principle. Atma is the ear of the ear. That means it illumines the very hearing. It illumines the very hearing. It is the eye of the eye means the entire sight. What is eye? It is sight. Is it not? It is sight. So now it is the sight of the sight. It is the eye of the eye means it illumines the very sight. Sight illumines what? Form. Sight illumines the form. Atma illumines the very sight. If Atma illumines the sight, then understand it illumines the sight plus the form, both. Atma is the eye of the eye means it is the knower of, it illumines the sight and form, both.